I can't believe I'm saying this, but if 2024 could hurry up so these books are, you know, already out and I could read them, thanks. Hey guys, it's Kira. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a little sit-down chat video. I'm going to talk to you about my most anticipated romance book releases of this year. I know I'm super late because it is literally pretty much the end of the month, but just, you know, share some new books if you don't know what's coming out this month or things you might be wanting to add to your TBR. I think I have like 10-ish, maybe more or less than that, I'm going to share with you guys today. So let's get right into it. Okay, so my first one I've talked about so many times in my video, but it is The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. As of right now, I've only read the fine print, there it is, which you'll see in my wrap-up video. Excited for Cal's book. I'm gonna do a little description of each one. I suck at summaries and stuff. Basically, this is about Callum, or Cal. He's the last of the Kane brothers. He's the last of the Kane brothers, and to get his part of like his grandfather's will, he has to spend his summer at his family's lake house, and of course, his childhood best friend and the woman that he's in love with owns it. So now she's also going to be there. So it's kind of like, is it second chance? I have no idea. But it's like childhood best friends to lovers, second chance. It is first proximity. I was correct. She like lives, but she also owns the house now. So I think that one, I know is coming out the 31st because I pre-ordered it. But yeah. The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. January 31st. Alright, next up we have Yours Truly by no other than Abby Jimenez, who, if you don't know, is one of my favorite authors. I have read 3 of her books already. I think I only have one more to read, which is Part of Your World. I love her writing style. I love her books. Yeah, I don't know, I put this on my TBR like after I literally finished that last book by her a few months ago. Okay, so it's one of these like typical books where she's finalizing divorce. Her brother is waiting for a kidney. I have no idea how to explain this book. And I think she's up for a promotion, and apparently one of the, I don't know if it's her boss, he's really like annoying, and I think he's the one that like controls if she's getting promoted or not. Sends her a letter, and she finds it like really funny, and then they start like sending letters back and forth. So, you know, it's one of those like pen pal kind of things, but you know, when people like don't meet each other in person and just go back and forth with letters. And then it turns out that he ends up telling her that her brother can get a kidney. Oh, she's like, amazing, but then, you know, it's kind of like, well, what are we, like, how's he gonna be in person, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know if I explained that well, because, like, I don't even really understand it myself. Yours truly. That description was brought to you by Yours Truly. Alright, never mind, I will be telling you when these come out, because Goodreads says April 11th, so that's a few months away. Next we have one of my fave authors, which is obviously Tessa Bailey. Ones that she announced, I think, or like, you know, talked about the most, is Secretly Yours, and I think the other one is Unfortunately Yours. The first one is called Secretly Yours, and I think this one's coming out in February. Yes, February 7th, next month. She is hired to like revamp, I think his like family estate or whatever. Obviously he's gonna be around, but he's like so grumpy and like closed off. They're polar opposites. She's like this, you know, funny sunshine girl, and then he's like this grumpy professor. So he's on sabbatical from his job and is trying to write a novel, but obviously is distracted because someone happens to be gardening outside his house. You know, she's getting these feelings of being back on the estate, and then gets really, you know, drunk one night and writes him a letter, and then he ends up finding the letter. Like, of course he ends up finding the letter, and he's like trying to like figure out who this letter is by. At the same time, he's distracted, and it's just, you know, he's just stating the fact that they're just polar opposites, but he's so like pulled towards her. So it's kind of like opposites attract. Is it forced proximity? It's not really forced, but kind of like second chance. Hey guys, editing Kara here. I just want to pop in and say that I did a shit job at explaining all these books, and I learned my lesson, and I'm just going to read the literal description of the book off Goodreads next time, because I can't even. with me. The letter was sent anonymously, and obviously it's from her, so he ends up finding it. I didn't even say the main characters' names. The female is Haley and the male character is Julian, and he's trying to figure out, you know, who's it from. At the same time, trying to deal with Haley's craziness. He's just trying to figure out, like, what's so familiar about her, not knowing that the letter is from the same woman. So yeah, it's this whole thing. Just please go on Goodreads and read the description for all of these books, because I just did a crappy job at explaining them. But anyway, yes, that is it. Thank you. Enjoy the rest. We have Unfortunately Yours, which I think is a marriage of convenience, and let me tell you, Tessa Bailey writing a marriage of convenience, oh my god. So she loses her job and her fiance, obviously, so she has to come back to town, and obviously she's trying to like start up her business and a trust fund, but you know how those things work in books. You need to be married to like access the trust fund. So she's like, marriage of convenience. The male interest name is August. I'm done. He owns the distillery for wine, but doesn't know anything about wine, but he's trying to, you know, hold up his friend's legacy, and it's not doing so great. So what happens? You know, he's like, well, if I need this money, a marriage of convenience for my business. Natalie and August. Oh, it's like enemies to lovers, marriage of convenience. I like couldn't get any better from Tessa Bailey. This one's coming out in June. I'm a little sad. That's like halfway through the year. Read this. Put it on the TBR. Put it on the TBR now. Unfortunately Yours. All right, next up we have Happy Place by Emily Henry, which, as you can see, I have 3 of her books up there. This one is, I think, coming out hardcover to begin with. It's Harriet and I don't know how to pronounce W-Y-N. Win? They go away on this trip and they haven't told their best friends that they broke up. So obviously they have to like act like they're still in love. Like, it's like fake dating. Second chance, forced proximity, like all of that stuff. But I don't know, I have a feeling the friends are gonna be like, what's going on here? The truth might come out. I don't know how this was gonna go, but it's a lot, and I'm excited because I love Emily Henry's books and her writing. The cover also is, look at this, like the pink, amazing. This one's coming out in April. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'm excited for this. Yes, Things We Hide from the Light, Lucy Score, second book in the Knockabout series. I don't know if it's gonna be series, duet, duology, whatever. You can barely see it. Things We Never Got Over, 5-star read for me. And you know who gets his own book? Nash. I love Nash. Oh my god, I love him. It's about Nash, who, if you didn't read the last book, you might want to read it before you read this one. He just got shot, he's recovering, he's a chief of police in the town. He's having some, like, you know, like nightmares and, you know, all that stuff because, you know, he's obviously traumatized. And he doesn't want anyone to know that he's, like, going through this thing. But of course, his next door neighbor, who happens to be Lena, who we did meet in the last book, she can, like, see right through him. Lena is not, like, she's, like, commitment phobe. She's, like, no relationships, no commitment. Flings are my thing. And she's afraid of Nash finding out why she's actually in town. So she's got her own secrets. So whenever she's in town after that, she's like, I'm out of here, guys. And of course, Nash wants to, you know, make her stay. Something is going to happen. He's going to find out the reason she's here, and it says, even if it means facing the danger that nearly killed him. So we'll have to find out. It's coming out next month. February 21st is when this book comes out. I mean, look, the cover is also so pretty. Look at it. It's pink. Things We Hide from the Light. Next we have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, which I think this is a series. Is it? I don't think this is technically like a series that the books that she's writing in. They're just very similar to each other. Love Theoretically, I mean, just look at it. It's not up here, but just look at it. Women in STEM kind of books, which love that, because yes, woman in STEM, you will love to see it. I think the female character's name is Elsie. I don't know. I really am bad at names. So she's a professor, and obviously she's like working hard every day to try to, you know, get to this, you know, high level because, you know, it is so much harder for women. And then other times she kind of like acts as people's like fake girlfriends. So she does this because, you know, she obviously doesn't get paid enough for what she's doing. We are back. She has to like be this guy's girlfriend who obviously beforehand has like criticized not only like her work but like kind of like what she does and her career. So it's wrapped up, has to like be his fake girlfriend. And let's see how this turns out. And he's on the hiring committee of her dream job. So obviously it's kind of like, well, she's sitting there, she's like, well, now crap, this guy hates me, he's annoying, he ratted out my career, and now he's like determined to like get hired by this job. And obviously like he's seen the real her being a fake girlfriend, and now it's like the STEM woman, and now she's like, and yeah, we'll see how this one turns. I have no idea. Like I'm very intrigued to see how this one turns out. Next up we have Jasper Vale by Devony Perry, which is part of the Eden series, which I have not started yet at this moment, but I thought I'd just throw it in there. This one actually seemed like really appealing, and I'm so excited. It's about this girl named Eloise, but she has always dreamed about running the family's inn, and she has to prove to everybody that she's not like some reckless girl, so she gotta like prove that she's stable. And she's like this close to doing it until she goes to Vegas, and you know what she does? She gets married and brings back the man she married, Jasper. After this happens, she's like freaking out. She's like, you know what, like it just didn't happen. He's like, I need a date to a wedding, and you know when the wedding is? 3 months. She's like, okay, like 3 months of having a fake husband, that's fine. It sounded very intriguing to me. I know people love this series and they rave about this series, so yeah, we have Jasper Vale coming out. I love the yellow cover. This one says it's coming out on January 31st. Add it to that TBR, pre-order it, babes, because it's coming out soon. Alright, next we have King of Pride, which is the second book in Anna Hong's like new series. First book I have not read yet, but hopefully by the time this one comes out, I have read the first one, but I don't know if people know that this is coming out. It doesn't obviously have a cover yet, so it's just black, but let me read you the synopsis because it is a sentence. She's his opposite in every way and the greatest temptation he's known. A steamy billionaire romance. You had me at billionaire romance. We have marriage of convenience in the first one, billionaire romance in the second. I am so ready. King of Pride, again, second book in the King of Sin series is what it's called. It says it comes out April 27th on Goodreads. So, a few months away. I'm pretty sure I will have the first one read by then. And this last one is kind of controversial for me. It's called Meet Me at the Lake by Callie Fortune, which was the author of Every Summer After. And when I tell you that I was loving that book until that thing happened at the end of the book, it ruined it for me. I'm so sorry. But that trope that was at the end, it ruined the whole entire book for me. This one seems a little bit better. Hopefully that trope does not come up again. This one is about two strangers who meet each other and have like the best 24 hours of their lives. They share everything with each other. This pact to like meet up the same place a year later, and Fern is the female main character's name, shows up, and the male, who's Will, doesn't. She's now 32 and she's not where she thought she was going to be. She's running her mom's business, which she said she was never going to do. And then her ex-boyfriend is the manager. Isn't that awkward? And she's like, well, I need like a plan or something. And of course, when she's like contemplating her whole entire life, the man comes back, Will, and he's like, I could help you. She's like, I can't, how am I supposed to trust him? Now she's like looking at him, she's like, this is not the same man I was with all these years ago, and she can tell that something's up with him. Now she feels obligated to help him. So it's like they kind of like trying to help each other. This one, according to Goodreads, is coming out in May. Alright, so that's it for today's video, guys. Those are some of my most anticipated romance releases of this year. I'm sure there are plenty others that I didn't mention. Those are just some that I have found and wanted to put in this video that I'm excited for. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found new books that maybe you're excited to put on your TBR for this year. I know I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys next week for what I read in January, because it is a time. I will just say that. But yeah, love y'all. Bye!